Hey everyone, I'm Mckenzie Bowers. I am a freshman at UNCW in Professor Drania's Spring 2022 English 201 class, and today I'm going to be discussing the environmental concerns on the production of palm oil all around the world, but most specifically Malaysia, and how that is affecting our animal populations and our habitats. Over the semester, I've taken a lot of time to look into the production of palm oil, how it's being made, how it's being used, how that's affecting our economy, but most importantly, how that is affecting our animal populations and our environment. So let's get into it. Okay, so starting off, I want to give you guys a little bit of background information on orangutans and what their population and current living situation has been over the past, I'd say, 60 to 100 years. So orangutans are known to live on the Southeast Asian islands of Borneo and Sumatra. Their current population is 104,700, but orangutans are also being put on the critically endangered list. We know this because over the past 60 years, we have seen a 50% decrease in the orangutan population. While most of you may know that orangutans are subjected to poaching, lots of deforestation on these islands, and I know not very many people know about palm oil plantations, but palm oil plantations is one of the leading causes of orangutans' death due to just humans not wanting these orangutans in their plantations, using these trees, eating their palm oil plants and fruit. So it causes a lot of issues for the people who own these plantations. And most likely ending up in these orangutans being killed by humans. So poaching in that form, but also just palm plantations taking over their environment and giving orangutans little to nowhere to live, and basically forcing them to thrive off of these palm plantations when they're not even wanted in the palm plantations in the first place. But going off of that, while there has been a 50% decrease in this orangutan population, we've also noticed that while this decrease is happening, there's also been a 55% decrease in habitation loss of these islands. I also wanted to give you guys a little bit of background information on this land, the islands of Borneo and Sumatra, which are located in Malaysia, Southeast Asian islands. These islands are very well known for their rich soil being the perfect place for these palm oil trees to grow. Which is why almost all palm plantations are found between these two islands. And another fact about these islands would be that these orangutan populations are only known to live on these two islands. Orangutans don't really live anywhere else besides there. About 85 to 95% of the population lives on these islands. Going off of how good we know the land is for palm plantations, we know that over half the land on these islands is being used for these palm plantations. And we know that at least 57,400 kilometers of that land is for palm plantations. And I say at least because the land that we know of being used is calculated into that numbers, but there's also very many illegal palm plantations where these palm trees are not supposed to be being grown. And it's in areas where land is supposed to be protected for the animals, for the environment, but obviously there's going to be people who disobey those rules. So there could be lots of other land being used for palm plantations that we just don't know about. And while palm oil is very good for our economy, it's still very, very bad for our environment and the animals in it. Now, palm oil plantations are not the only thing that these lands are being used for. As I said before, poaching, tons of deforestation. If you think about it, 50% of that island is for palm plantation, and then we have the other 50%, which is left for deforestation, which is obviously a huge issue all around the world, and then poaching, everything like that. So many of you guys might be asking, what even is palm oil? Well, palm oil comes from the fruit of a palm tree, and it can be found in about over 50% of packaged items that you can find in your local grocery store. So that includes snacks, laundry detergent, makeup, shampoo and conditioner. It can be found in so many things. And obviously, due to the amount that we use palm oil, there is an abundant, very much needed need for palm oil. Therefore, it is needed by tons of people, tons of companies. So it's beneficial for both the consumers and the producers. It has a lot of money has been spent on it and is a part of our economy and is something that we spend a lot of money on. So as stated before, the orangutan population has seen a 50% decrease in the last 60 years, and this only continues to decline as the need for palm oil continues to rise. This land is being used for these palm plantations and leaving the orangutans and other animals that are in their habitats little to nowhere to live, which often causes these orangutans to, obviously, if they can't have food, they can't live where they need to or where they're used to or able to thrive off of, the population is going to decline. And it's also just forcing them to try and live in these plantations where they are not capable of living, often killed by humans or human machines, or just simply not able to get the things they need to survive. And palm oil is great for us as humans, but it's really destroying the environment that we have on Earth and the animals that are on it. Now I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about the solutions that I think would be helpful. When looking at the data presented, we can see there have been many attempts to try and repopulate the species. One of the main attempts has been putting laws into place and having areas of the forest protected from deforestation and palm plantations. While these laws have not been very effective, research shows that other animals and orangutans have thrived in these protected forests. Protected forests are done by having small chunks of the forest protected and guarded for the safety of the plants and animals. This is a very effective way to protect the orangutans, and if done on a larger scale, I believe it would help to repopulate the species. Another solution that I believe would be very beneficial to the species would be finding a substitution for palm oil. Finding an alternative would decrease the demand for palm oil, therefore having less palm plantations. Alternatives to palm oil could eventually be fully hydrogenated fats, liquid oils, coconut oils, cocoa butter, and exotic fats like shea. All of these would be great alternatives and are safer for our environment and the animals in it.